Well, folks, in a week where Piers Morgan, along with Zlatan, is going to have a right dig at old Eric Ten Hag again this week. No, I'm not going to be calling for Ten Hag's head. I don't want him down the road. But I did ask a week or two ago, this Onana, is he a top banana or a fraud? Based on last night's performance, you'd say a fraud. I'm sure he's better than we've seen thus far. Yes, with the ball at his feet, he's great. But I did say 2 weeks ago, what I want to see him doing is making saves and keeping the ball out of the net. And he's fell pretty short on that the last few weeks. He's making mistake after mistake after mistake. Got to ask myself, is the United gig too big for him? Is the transfer fee too big for him? Is the crowd too much for him? Or is he just reading too much of his own publicity? He needs to start making saves and ideally catching the ball. Last night was really disappointing from a United point of view. You know, a really disappointing loss. And the biggest question I took from it was, for all I rate Ten Hag, and I think he's going to do a fantastic job, and I really do, I question some of his transfer decisions. I mean, Anthony, I've said it a few times on here, I don't think there's one person inside that Old Trafford ground that believes he's worth £80 million. We've now paid almost, is it 50 million? Almost, for Onana. Great with the ball at his feet, apart from when he passes it to the opposition, as he did last night. But, as I say, his job should be making saves. He's got this thing of when the ball's in the air and coming at him, he likes to parry things out with the double fist. And he doesn't ever look to catch the ball, which I can't understand. And more importantly, when he parries things out, he parries it back into play. I thought the deal was always to push things around your post and push them out of play. It just concerns me. As I say, I think he needs to get back to basics. With the ball on the floor, ball at his feet, he's great. But last night for me, he made 3 mistakes. That first parry was shocking. He could have caught the ball. He just looked lost. Then he passed to one of their players for them to score, or for them to should have scored. Obviously, he got a player of ours sent off. They missed the penalty, but it wasn't long until they did score. And then on the third goal, as I think Glenn Hoddle said, and I think he was probably right, he normally comes, he should have come, he stuttered and decided to stay, and then he went to ground too easily, and he made it really easy for their player to score that third goal. Just shocking. And I thought to myself, over the last 2 or 3 years, De Gea from time to time had been guilty of the odd really bad mistake. But if he made one, it would be 1 per game. I would suggest Onana made 3 last night. 3 in 1 game is a worry. He needs to pull his socks up. If I was Ten Hag, I would definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, be dropping him over the weekend and bringing the new goalkeeper in. We've not seen him yet. It'll do the goalie no harm to get a game under his belt, and it'll give Onana the kick up the backside he needs to make him realise that his position just isn't safe. If he's not performing, he doesn't get in. That's how it should be. That's how Ten Hag tends to run the team. I'd like to see him do it with Onana as well. Now, he's played with him before. I'm sure he rates him. I'm sure he knows he's good enough, and hopefully he will come good. But at the moment, it's just not good enough. Who did we rate last night? Well, performance-wise, we were awful. I mean, at the back, when it was needed, especially last 20-25 minutes, we were pulled all over the place. I mean, I was watching Varane in the first half, and Varane, for me, is a Rolls Royce of a player, or can be. Sometimes he looks like a Rolls Royce. Sometimes he looks like a car that's been bought off a guy called Boyce, or should I say Boycey. And he looked a bit that way last night. I noticed last night he gave 3 passes completely away. 3 balls, 15, 20 yards, that's all they were, straight to an opposing player. And I think with Varane, I don't know, have we got him too late in his career? He's been a world beater. He has some great games for us, but he has some games where he goes missing as well. His distribution isn't always great, yet we know he's got a good pass on him, and he's regularly injured. I think we're missing old Martinez massively. I don't think when he came back this year he was still fit, and I think that's what we're reading now. I think with him in there, for all he's not a big centre-back, I think he plays above his size, above his weight, and I like him. Do we need another fantastic partner with him? I don't know. But at the back last night, we looked shaky. We was all over the place. Who came out with any credit? Well, I thought Hannibal played really well. He run hard, he worked hard, he never stopped trying. I thought Casemiro, to a great extent, was good. Rasmus was absolutely fantastic. You'd like to see him get even more ball. Even the finish that wasn't a goal where he was offside and didn't realise offside was a great finish. Showed, great awareness. I think he's a player there. I think we've got a player there. And I think Amrabat was great. I think the problem with Amrabat is he's playing out of position. He's playing as a fullback and he's doing it for his boss and for the team, which is great. But he's trying to add. He's all over the place. He's not always in that fullback role, and maybe he should be more. But maybe, more importantly, we need a fullback back. And we need to get Amrabat in the middle of the field there with Casemiro. I think he will help the back four enormously. I've been very impressed with Amrabat. Very impressed. I would just like to see him in that central midfield. I really would. But yeah, just disappointing last night. Really disappointing. And the thing is, we can still qualify, and we possibly will. But it may come down to goal difference in the end. It really may. And we're letting lots of goals in. We need to shore up that back line massively. But I mean, the back line ain't doing great as it is. It's worse when they've got a goalkeeper behind them that's making mistake after mistake. As I say, he's making many more per game than De Gea did. You've got to ask yourself, what's De Gea doing at the moment? He's not been signed by anybody yet, has he? Can we get him on a contract game by game? I'm half joking there. I know that would be a backward move. But we need our goalkeeper to get himself sorted. We really do. I would like to see him start saving the ball, as opposed to just concentrating on his playing from the ground and concentrating on parrying the ball out and pushing the ball out. Catch the damn ball, goalie. That's what it's all about. Catch the damn ball. Stop the move. Don't bat it back to them. Don't become a batty boy. So yeah, bit disappointing. No, a lot disappointing, especially after Palace at the weekend. But they need to pull the socks up and work hard. They really, really do. Old Pace is going to have a fun tomorrow. Trying to keep in Cristiano's good books, knocking Eric. A lot are going to be knocking Eric the next few weeks, Eric, unless you get your team sorted out. But you need to get them sorted. You really do. And I think if you've got players that aren't doing it on the pitch, drop them. Get them dropped for a game or two. It'll concentrate the mind. That's what's needed. We know he's slow at centre back, but does Maguire not deserve a game? Does he not? When the back line's struggling anyway, does he not deserve a few more minutes? Because at the moment, at centre-back, we're not looking great. Just a thought. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Rasmus, love you yesterday, mate. Really, really good.